In a world crying out for a top 10 show, John Roca and Matt Nost are here to bring you the top 10. Brought to you by the Schmoes Know. Take it away, boys. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Top 10 Show, coming to you live from an underground bunker here in Los Angeles. I always like it when they said that, underground bunker. An underground bunker here in the city of Angels. Does that work at all?
Really? Where have you heard that?
In a number of places, in wrestling and on the radio.
Tremendously vague. In a myriad of locations. Oh, is that where? I thought you meant like a radio station or in a movie.
I think I heard it in a radio station once, and then maybe a wrestling, where they go parts unknown. From parts unknown.
Sure.
Kamala, the Ugandan giant. That kind of shit. I love that shit. Anyway, yes, welcome to the Top 10 Show. I am John Roca.
I am Matt Nost.
And this is our second episode.
Back on SK Podcast.
Yeah, SK Plus Podcast. We're supposed to say plus. SK.
Oh, it's plus?
Hashtag SK Plus or the Schmoes Know iTunes feed, Podcast 1. We're on all that shit with this show, so it's pretty cool.
Okay.
Don't you think?
I didn't realize there were that many different titles.
We're worldwide, man. It's international.
Oh, yeah. Well,
it's going to have a lot of titles.
Our previous listeners know we're huge in Uganda.
Ghana.
That's
Jesus.
right.
Jesus Christ, man.
I can't believe I screwed up one of our oldest jokes.
No,
and it's not really a joke.
No, they really are.
At the end of year one, we took a tally of downloads, and Ghana made the top 10.
Ghana was killing it.
Yes.
So respect to the Ghana.
Someone said it's because they're probably routing servers through Ghana, and somehow it gets registered there from the download. But don't you ruin our dreams?
No doubt. Don't you ruin our dreams?
Don't you do
There's
it?
Huge people in Ghana.
Yeah, I love to believe that there are just a horde of people in Ghana that just are so excited that they get their show back, and we're on episode 2.
I want this show to become so successful that we make so much money that we can fly fans into Ghana to do a live recording of the Top 10 Show in a Ghana auditorium.
Well, why do we have to fly fans into Ghana? Why don't we just fly to Ghana and then we do a show for
the Ghana?
Are they the Ghanese?
Ghanaians?
Ghanaians? Why don't one of you reach out to us? Hit us up on Twitter and let us know, or Facebook.
Yes, and I want to see pictures of you in Ghana listening to the Top 10 Show. I want to.
Sure.
I want evidence.
How are we going to know? Do you know any landmarks in Ghana?
I know what Ghana looks like.
You do not.
I've seen African documentaries.
So have I. Doesn't mean they all everywhere. Like that continent is massive.
It's pretty. It's Ghanaians.
Ghanaians?
Yes, the Ghanaian people are a nationality originating in the Ghanaian Gold Coast. There it is, Ghanaians. Anyway, they love our show.
We assume.
Well, yes.
Numbers indicate that something interesting is happening in Ghana.
In Ghana.
The others are all native English-speaking countries. So the other 9 out of that top 10 made perfect sense. And I don't know if Ghana was originally part of the Belgian Republic, because they would have been down roughly in that area. But I don't know who controlled the Gold Coast that they would have learned like either French or English or something.
I don't know.
I don't know if they speak English there or not. I'm assuming so, since so many of them listen. Unless they have a translation app. They run this through and then it comes out.
Check out the big brain on Matt Nost.
What if it's like when they premiere a movie in another country and they just get a voice actor to do the character?
It's 2 guys.
So it's 2 guys in Ghana. Oh my God. And they're like, you know what? We're going to cast a John Roca and a Matt Nost. Who do we get? Maybe it's like 2 badass guys in Ghana, and they know English. Now they're just translating it for the people, and they're doing their version of our show.
Matt, if there's 2 Ghanaian people down,
I'll fly them
Ghana,
here.
Oh, fuck yes, I'll fly them.
I want to know about that.
I'm happy to contribute to that. If there's 2 people imitating us or translating us and doing our show for the Ghanaian people, that would just be awesome.
Especially if the Roca has the same spiked hair. I'd be impressed. The commitment to the character. How much do you get into this?
Can someone send us 2 mocked up images of us as 2 Ghanaians?
That's probably not a good idea. That's not a good idea.
I'm sorry.
You get away with that better just because you're Latino than I do. It just breaks bad for me if that happens.
All around.
So let's just not do that, guys.
Fine.
Let's not do that.
Anyway, so this is our second episode. Thanks everybody who downloaded the first episode. All the amazing comments and
all the tweets,
all the
everything
tweets.
on Facebook,
Yeah.
and Schmoville, and everywhere that you shared it. We thank you so much.
Yeah, really, it's nice to be received warmly again. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
Yeah.
It's good to be back.
Yeah.
And hopefully you enjoyed that first show.
Yeah.
We both had some errors on our list.
But that's the top 10 show.
Yeah. Sometimes you forget things.
Exactly.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, and stop giving a shit. Fuck off.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a byproduct of getting older, kids.
Exactly.
Those of you out there listening thinking, you know what, I'm going to be young and invincible and amazing for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Time gets us all.
That's really...
Time gets us all.
It's undefeated. Time is undefeated.
Yeah, we were talking before we started recording about Schmodown. And just like sometimes you know an answer, but like I'm sorry, it doesn't matter how hard I strain right now. It's somebody like if you gave me the first initial, boom, I give you that guy's name.
Right.
I can't even do that right now, and I know it.
Yeah.
Like I forgot Lloyd Bridges on a question in the Schmodown once, and I was like, oh, it's Bridges, and I can even visualize the TV show where like he swam around in the ocean from the 60s.
That's right.
And I didn't even watch it. I just saw that on repeat, and I was like,
Sequest or something, wasn't it? Or
yeah, but there's like a dolphin involved.
Yeah.
But it wasn't Flipper.
It wasn't Flipper.
Yeah. And like they would always be underwater in those old school diving suits and shit, going after rocks or something. I don't know. The show was ridiculous.
It was.
But it was the 60s television. But I was just like, Bridges. I don't
Madison County.
Bridge in my head. I was like, I don't know. Hey, Bridges.
Bridge too far. Bridge Remagen.
I think it was Christian called me on it. We're gonna need his first name. You're not gonna take Bridges on this one? Come on.
Challenge?
I picked the wrong week to stop sniffing glue. I'll tell you that.
that guy.
Yeah, trust me, I can call hot shots and 50 other things, and I can tell you all the stuff his kids have done. Fuck, I can't pull his name right now. So welcome to a fading memory. So
That's what cracked me up when Stacey Howard one time she answered the guy from X-Files for David Duchovny, and I was like, perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah.
She doesn't know. That's perfect.
it'd be even better if she just said Californication.
Yeah, that's
As
right.
if that's the more known Duchovny thing. Or Tail Leone's ex-husband.
Or really Tales of the Red Shoe Diaries or the Red Shoe Diaries, which he used to do the intros
Shit,
of.
was he on that?
Yeah, he
Don't
was the
even
guy that
remember
read
that.
letters all the time at the beginning.
Never watched
That was Duchovny. Oh, I never watched either. I just would flip channels and catch it and then flip
No,
it.
it seemed like a Silk Stockings meets Showtime Skinamax, even though I never saw it.
Dude,
Was it?
Silk Stockings. I had such a thing for that
Did you?
girl on Silk Stockings. I forget what it is, Roxy something or whatever. She was hot. Such a thing for her on Silk Stockings.
So anyway, that's how you forget things.
Getting old, that's right. But we
Yeah.
remember Silk Stockings for whatever fucking reason.
It's fine, exactly. That stuff
Yeah.
worms itself into your brain, and you can't forget it. And other things that you should remember.
Yeah, like
You
Calvin
unfortunately-
Klein, you sons of bitches. Get off my ass about it already.
It happens.
Yep. I'm sorry. It happens.
You know, if this was 10 years ago, I would be a lot better at this game.
No, right.
But just my memory was better.
Well,
I
like
had better
Shaq said,
recall.
40 ain't 20, bro. 40 ain't 20. 49 ain't 29, whatever he said. Yeah. Anyway, so this week, you guys know we try to do a list based on something that's coming out.
Yep.
That's been our heritage, our tendency, our mantra.
I like heritage.
Do you like heritage?
Heritage
That's been
was
our
a nice
heritage.
choice.
That's right. It's laid the groundwork.
Sure.
And this week, Atomic Blonde is coming out, which is the awesome new film with Charlize
Charlize
Theron.
and McAvoy.
That's right, directed by one of the producers of the John Wick series. So I'm looking forward to it. The action sequence has been fantastic. The trailers look great, and she's never better than when she's given a good film to be an action star in. Mad Max Fury Road, she's fantastic in that movie.
Oh, she almost steals the movie.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it is Tom Hardy's because he's Mad Max, but Furiosa
yeah,
is such a captivating character.
yeah,
I just rewatched that like a couple weeks ago.
yeah,
I don't get the people that don't get it.
yeah,
It just makes so much sense to me.
yeah.
That just like when someone's like, yeah, no, and I'm like, really?
Scott Manson's one of those ones that doesn't get it.
Really?
He does not like the movie.
It's not. In no way I'm saying like you're an idiot or something like that.
Yeah.
It's just like wow. It was so captivating to me for an action movie to be that beautiful.
People say it's an hour and 45-minute car chase. You're out of your fucking mind.
It is.
There's so much going on, though.
But there's so much vivid imagery that crammed into a nothing.
Yeah.
that should be a nothing, rather.
Right, but there's all this emotional stuff that's explored between, like, the female slaves. That are in
the
thing,
birthers or whatever they are.
Right, the brothers. Right. His harem essentially.
Yeah,
and then Nicholas Holt's character, and then Tom Hardy's version of Mad Max. Then you have Imperator, and then them going to that place, and then realizing that place isn't what they thought it was anymore, and then they have to react.
Utopian Eden that they were anticipating.
Exactly.
And then the reversal of, well, you know what place might not be bad. I love that.
Yeah.
Let's go right back into the lion's den.
Let's do it.
Boom.
Let's do it. So we decided this week to do the top 10, what do we say, assassin films, heist films, spy films. The
Spy
top
films.
10 spy films. Yeah, that's right, spy films. Because she's a spy in the movie.
Yeah, it's a CIA tie-in.
Yeah.
And we're like, hey, why not do a little spy film action?
Little play around. It gives us a lot of a breadth of films to choose from, a wide berth. Yeah, exactly.
A ton. I mean, if you wanted to, you could probably just relegate this to like only movies from the 50s and 60s.
Sure, if you wanted to.
And there's an entire show, and there's a bunch of good choices.
Absolutely. And not just James Bond films either. There's a bunch of them.
No.
That are just like there's Bond films.
And that's one rule I had for myself. I only included one Bond.
Me too.
Because otherwise, I could probably put like 3 or 4 Bonds on this.
Absolutely.
And I was like, I'm going to choose one. I'm going to choose my favorite, and just call it a day. Because otherwise, why don't we just do the top 10 James Bond, which we've done.
We'll save that for when Daniel Craig finishes shooting his last one.
Oh, that sucks.
That he's coming back, or that he's doing the last one?
The last one.
Yeah.
As much as I didn't love the last one, it was fine.
I like Spectre, yeah.
It goes more comedy when I don't think it really needs to.
Well, I think it's an old school Bond, like from the 60s and 70s.
Well,
and
yeah,
it didn't
more
work
Roger
for
Moore to
2000.
me.
Yeah, exactly. It didn't work for the 2000s, I don't think. Or
Not for what they'd
2010s.
set up, especially after Skyfall.
Yeah, Skyfall. More on that later.
So spy films. So there's so many to choose from.
Yeah.
And so hopefully we have some commonality, and hopefully we have some movies that the other doesn't, and potentially something that somebody out there hasn't seen.
Yeah.
And they get a good recommendation. This is the type of list where people are like, oh, you recommended that, and I went out and saw it.
Yeah.
This is the type of thing where, because this genre has been around for so long, you can easily pluck one out that you may not have seen, and it's really excellent. So please do yourself a favor, because this one holds up.
Absolutely. That's very well said, Matt. And Matt, why don't you keep going and tell them how the show works?
Yeah, so once we set a topic, John and I go our separate ways and create individual top 10 lists, and we show back up here. I do my bottom 3, he does his bottom 3, I do my next 2, he does his next 2. Then we trade one apiece. Once we revealed our personal top 10 list, we create the shows between the two of us.
Look, I don't know what this time off did.
I don't know.
But it made you amazing.
It uncluttered that.
I mean, seriously.
Just left it all behind and just streamlined the process.
All right, so
there it is.
Let's do it.
No problem.
Unless you have something more to say?
Nope.
I felt like there was a hesitation.
My brain just stuttered for a half a second as I looked down at my list.
As you try to remember Lloyd Bridges again.
Bridges.
That's Bridge.
That was his name before Ellis Island.
We accept L Bridges.
We can't. I couldn't even pull L.
You just said the dad of Jeff and Bo.
No, I said Bridges, and they're like, we're gonna need a first name, and it's like Bridges. Nash. I can't. I literally cannot pull this right now.
Todd.
I got Bo.
Bridges,
I got Jeff. Yeah, exactly. I'm not pulling Lloyd right now. I really wish that I was, but I'm not.
No offense.
Yeah. And I'm rifling through every movie I can picture him in. I'm like, brilliant. Is it on the posters? Is it on the posters? Is it on the posters? Just trying to go through. Nope.
What you talking about, Willis?
Yeah, motherfucker. So at number 10 is an 80s classic.
Ooh.
No Way Out.
Oh, that's a great choice, Matt. Damn, that's awesome, because I didn't put it on my list at all. That's a great choice.
It was a movie my mom really liked.
Yeah, I love it.
So I saw it like 5 times, probably at way too young an age for someone to have seen that about 5 times.
Especially that sex scene in the limousine with Sean Young.
There's a few moments of tension. Like I remember I didn't quite understand early on. It's like,
why is this man in love with this other man? What does that mean, Mom?
It's like, and like the tension between, because Costner and Hackman are basically, spoiler alert if you haven't seen the movie.
Yeah, seriously, it's 30 fucking years.
Yeah. So they're kind of after the affections of one woman, but Costner's the only one that knows that. Hackman doesn't.
Right.
And then there's a murder, and then Hackman tries to pin it on somebody else, and there's an investigation, and they pull in the Ruskies. This is the height of communism, and there's like is it an infiltration, from within? Or have they put a mole in our midst? What's going on? So there's all this subterfuge with those layers, like a supposed clandestine operation, and then you just have this love triangle
Yeah.
that's going on top of it. So another layer, and it's like every good spy movie. There's always tension.
Yeah.
Even in scenes that are just meaningless on some level, it still kind of makes you a little bit tense.
Yeah.
For no other reason than like that dude doesn't know all the information.
Right.
And we do, and I don't like that he doesn't know because he's looking like a fool right
Yeah.
now.
And it's a fantastic twist.
Yeah.
When it happens, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, the
Especially for that
actual
time.
twist.
Yeah.
In and of itself, just the simplicity of it, and you're like, this is great. That's what I liked as a kid. I could follow along to that point, and then when the twist happens, it's like, oh, this is really good.
Yeah.
I may not have understood everything that's going on right now, but as I got older, I've still seen that movie a couple times. Plus, it's early Costner.
Yeah.
Hackman is at the top of his game. It's before what's her name goes.
Sean Young?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Full banana times crazy.
Yeah. Well, Patton is the guy who plays the assistant to Gene Hackman, who's got his issues, and that all comes out at the end there. And so there's a lot of good actors in this movie that go on to have fantastic careers in film. And so like Sean Young gets a little nutty at times, but like it is there. What's also great about the film too is that it really is, like you said, Matt, a snapshot of the time in the 80s, the Cold War, at the height of the Cold War, and you feel it throughout the entire movie.
We've had this distrust of another country.
Yeah.
For 30 years now.
Apparently not anymore.
Or at that point, 20 years.
Apparently not anymore.
Well, yeah. Now we're just butting up against another world power.
Yeah, I guess so.
Guess what? China's trying to do all those things to us as well.
Yep, true.
And we're doing it to them. I mean, it's a little bit much when we're like, hey, what's going on here? And we're doing the exact same fucking thing, if not leading the charge on having the best software how to do it. We just haven't been caught as often.
That's true. Maybe true. Maybe you're
It's
right.
more than likely true.
Cut it.
Yeah, our hands
We're gonna
are
get shot
clean.
now. Thanks, dude. We're gonna disappear.
I'm not saying I liked the outcome of what happened, but at the same time, to say that we're over here being angels and be like, it's been a long time since this country had the high ground on virtuousness.
You're gonna get me killed.
I'm the one that's saying it. So if anybody's gonna get snuffed out, it's me. You're the one that had military service.
I can't do
They're
the
gonna
top 10
respect
show without you, bud. You can't get snuffed
that. Sure
out.
you can. Sure you can.
Just prop up Matt Nose, a doll figure.
You
What do
fly
think,
in the
Matt?
guy from Ghana.
Yes, the
be
guy
like,
from
listen,
Ghana.
you've been an understudy. You ready for the big leagues?
Like Journey.
Yeah.
Pull that Philippine guy off the YouTube.
Listen,
and
if
go
he's-
you're the lead
he's
singer.
really good. You just sneak him in, have him. My wife will never know the difference.
Yeah.
You just slide him right in. He can just.
Number 8. Yeah, all right. So what's your number 9?
My number 9
Yes, number
is
9.
not going to make your list,
Okay.
without a doubt.
Okay.
And I wanted to have a little fun with my list.
You bastard. Go ahead.
I wanted to have a tiny bit of fun.
All right.
So I'm putting on True Lies.
Oh, I had to take it off.
Did you?
It was number 10 for the better part of an hour.
It's a number 9-10 to me. It's a number 9. It makes it to 9 just because, listen, if I'm going to fudge this list and have a little fun,
we got fun.
it's one of those of, I can't believe this movie was good.
Yeah.
On the outside, it's Schwarzenegger, because he's already had Last Action Hero. So
Yes.
it looks like he's spoofing action spy.
Yeah.
And you're like, that hasn't worked out well for you. You're
Yeah,
really
it
going to go
really
back to this well. And they're like, co-starring Tom Arnold. And you're like, oh, okay. He just got divorced from Roseanne. Nationally, he is thought of as the guy that just leached onto her and got his fame. The guy has no talent.
Right.
Jamie Lee Curtis, we all liked.
Yes.
But she
hadn't done something in a while.
yeah, she hadn't been in something huge
Since
in a while.
Fish Called Wanda. So it'd been like 4 or 5 years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We all, that and Halloween and was it Blue Steel?
Yeah, Blue
And-
Steel.
And she's
Trading Places.
Yeah, she's done a bunch of great movies.
sure, of course.
But it's been a while since she was in a blockbuster where she is co-lead.
Right.
And Bill Paxton.
Yeah, Bill Paxton's great. He's that car
great.
salesman. So great. The late, great Bill Paxton.
Everything works. Tom Arnold
Yeah.
is amazing.
Yep.
Flat
Totally
out
agree.
amazing.
I think this film turned his career around.
It did. He has a career to this day because he was that good in that film.
Agreed.
That he got work thereafter and proved out like he does what he does and he does it well.
Yep.
And now he's done over 100 movies.
Yeah. Schwarzenegger vouched for him after that movie in all the interviews.
Yeah.
Because people would ask him about it, and he was like, Tom was great. He was a professional. He was fantastic to work with. and
They're
he's good
still
in the
friends to
movie.
this day.
Yeah.
They have like a motorcycle riding club.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
They go up PCH.
Tom, what are you doing?
I think they like start in Malibu and then go up the coast and there's like,
Get on the Holly.
Exactly. It's a bunch of guys struggling to hold on to a youth that has long since escaped them.
I think I saw that movie, Wild Hogs, with Travolta, and Tim Allen, and Martin Lawrence. Yikes.
Travolta's hairpiece. It was gorgeous.
Yikes. All right.
But in True Lies, so what on the outset looks like it's going to be a spoof movie actually takes itself pretty seriously, and it tells an interesting side of a spy story that you've never seen before. What about if someone does have a home life, what's the collateral damage of you leading this second life?
Yeah.
And not in a more realistic way like maybe they do in Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
Where, terrorist shows up at your house and does something heinous and kills off this and whatever else.
Right.
Just like puts them in harm's way once they find out. That's where Paxton is a great lead into the slow build of what's going to happen. I'm trying to show you this world and it's all a farce, and she gets thrust into the real world.
Yeah.
And it's a great transition, perfectly cast, perfectly paced.
Yep.
It's got a great payout.
Yeah, and it isn't just about the spy stuff that's happening. It's also about like their marriage falling apart.
Yeah.
Like Jamie Lee Curtis.
She's trying to rekindle,
She is.
recapture the spark that they've lost.
Right. And he's been so like focused on work and swaggering through work that he hasn't really been there to focus on the relationship, on the marriage. And so, you have that scene where she's slow dancing for what she thinks is some kind of mysterious admirer, mysterious lover or whatever. And she's doing that.
It's like an arms dealer or something.
Yeah, arms dealer in her bra and panties because she's trying to help him out of the situation. But that's her way of like trying to give to the relationship. And Arnold has to realize throughout the movie that, hey, I kind of haven't been there. I need to fucking do some work here. Yeah, I make fun of the dude who, was trying to help her cheat on me. But by the same token, I drove her to this situation.
Exactly.
I got to take responsibility for that.
There is fault in you. Even if they're the one that did the terrible thing, there's something that drove them to that.
Yep.
Unless they were, predetermined to do that from the outset, but you wouldn't have married them and set it up the story. Or in real life, you wouldn't have stayed with this person if they were like that. When you come home on the weekend, you try and play the doting Ward Cleaver type of dad.
Exactly.
So she's not capable of that unless she's driven to the fact that she just feels kind of alone.
Yeah.
And you're off gallivanting around the world.
Yeah, with Tom Arnold, for God's sakes.
Yeah, just crushing it.
Just crushing the puss. All right, never mind. Number 8.
Number 8.
Yeah.
Might be one that's on your list.
Okay.
Might be one we have to punt.
All right.
3 Days of the Condor.
That's my number 9.
Perfect.
So we can talk about it.
Great placement, by the way.
Thank you.
Go ahead. I was just talking.
Yeah, it's a fantastic film. We just did it on the Cinephiles a few weeks ago because a friend of ours is a massive fan of the film and came on and we talked about it. It is such a good film to revisit and watch. I had just seen it for the first time last year. I had never seen it before. No, it was one of those 70s ones that kind of escaped my attention when I was growing up, and I'd never kind of found my way to cycle back to it. And then every once in a while, I'll go on TCM, and I'll go like 3 weeks in advance on the guide and just set my DVR to record movies that I haven't seen, classic films that I haven't seen or that have slipped through the cracks. I just saw Rear Window 2 months ago. I'd never seen Rear Window before, yeah. So I have these holes, So like that was one of those ones, and I remember sitting myself down on a Saturday afternoon. I was like, "You're gonna watch this thing. You're gonna enjoy it," and I really, really did. And it is a bit dated at times, which is why it's lower on my list. But it's still a really good film, and you don't expect it to be a spy film because he's just a guy who works for the CIA translating.
He's
stuff.
a bookworm.
Yeah, he's a bookworm.
Yeah,
he gets caught up in this whole situation. But what's the joy of the film is watching him. I think you said this on the superhero on the previous. Episode we did where you had Ben Affleck. The reason you like Batman is because it's just a regular dude doing stuff, and that's what's so great about this movie is that Robert Redford is a regular bookworm guy. He loses his girlfriend within the first few minutes, and all this shit starts to happen, and he has to figure out his way out.
The Office? Adios.
The Office is that's a great beginning, man.
Yeah.
And that's the trademark of really good spy films. You get that action sequence right at the beginning. It gets you right into the movie, and then you can take your time.
Plus, Max von Sydow.
Yeah, Max von Sydow is fantastic.
It's one of those of... when you lose somebody like that, it's like, how do you replace a Max von Sydow?
Yeah.
Just he's one of those guys of like, that he plays such a pure evil and can do it, in a chameleon-like-esque way where it's different.
Yeah.
When he does evil, it's not the same character that's rolling out every time. Each one has a different underlayer of like, I don't trust this guy. He looks like somebody I should be able to trust.
Yeah.
Like he carries a certain amount of weight to him where you respect him when he walks into a room.
Yeah.
But then once he starts talking, you can see the interactions he has with the other characters. Just like, there's always something with you. Even like he's billed to be a good guy.
Yeah.
Just like, I don't trust this good guy.
The fact that he so effectively plays both sides throughout the movie is just madness, man. It's madness to watch. And the relationship with Faye Dunaway is really interesting. Yeah, at times it's a bit like kind of 70s point of view of men and women, so that's a little troubling to watch now with 2017 eyes, but it's still interesting to watch in the film. And she plays a very strong character for the most part because she won't get pushed around and won't get told what to do by him, even though he's trying to figure something out, you know. And so to me, it's an enjoyable film that goes all around the city and really explores this whole idea of spy and both sides, and also the conversation he has with Cliff Robertson at the end, that back and forth. You don't know who won.
True.
And that's great.
True.
You don't know who actually wins. And that's the mark of a true spy, a really good spy film, is that you don't know how this thing is going to go down in the end and how it's going to play out in the future. But you think someone has won, and then someone says something, and you're just like, oh, shit, I hadn't thought about that. Oh. And
Plus,
doom, it's done.
I love it when, like, we all know various forms of like spycraft.
Yeah.
Which is like, oh, I've got, you know, the get smart almost, like there's a phone in my shoe and all that stupid shit. But the idea that his job is to read the publications of the world to see if he can decipher, like, there's any kind of code they're sending out to various sleeper agents across countries, or you know, what if it's a terrorist organization, or they didn't worry about it at that time as, you know, much. Yeah, it still cropped up like IRA and stuff. But the idea that the government would have people doing that, and that's your job, to try and figure out a code in just utter sea of madness. So like, how do you decipher any of that in all these world publications? But more than likely, that's based on some kernel of truth that we do something akin to that. And even now, like with all the tracking of emails and whatnot.
Even more so now.
Absolutely. It's like now they catalog it and store it in servers out in the middle of the desert, and it's like, oh, that's fun.
Thanks, Snowden.
Yeah,
it's nuts, dude. But,
well, yeah,
it's a good film, though. It's a fantastic film.
It is.
It totally holds up. I mean, for the most part, it holds up, and it's enjoyable exploration of the situation.
It's one of those. I wish I had grown up with Redford and Newman.
Oh man,
as like the apexes, because they seem like so much fun.
Yep.
Like McQueen, I get, but those two, like, I would much prefer. It's just like, man, if I could have ridden along with you guys as you were just. Oh shit, they've got a new one coming out. Like, you know, Sting. Or Butch Cassidy and Sundance. Or just like, I can't wait because they're so amazing and electric together.
Agreed.
And even individually, I mean, it's rare. Even in a bad movie, I almost always love their performances.
We're the Paul Newman and Rob Redford of the podcast world. That's what I would say.
Who would you prefer to be?
I don't want to say. What's your number 8?
Really?
Yes, I don't want to say.
Why is that?
I don't know. There's a tough choice.
You gotta Sophie's choice it. Who you choosing?
I feel like I'm more Paul Newman because I'm more outgoing, and you're more Robert Redford because you're just chill and relaxed.
That's perfect, because I would choose Redford.
You would? Okay, perfect. So there we go.
There you go.
All right, what's your number 8?
That was my 8.
Oh, so it was my turn.
10 and 8.
All right. Speaking of having fun with this list, I wanted to throw one in here because I didn't want to be too serious. You know, I've got a whole new outlook on life. You just got to relax and enjoy the world.
Is it Spies Like Us?
No, it's not. I hate that damn movie. I don't know why people love that stupid ass movie.
So good.
God, there's just some movies.
It's so terrible, but I love it. I will not defend it. I can't tell you it's a good movie.
Do you remember a joke from it? What's your favorite joke from Spies Like Us? Is the one in the tent?
There's 10. They come out like as aliens. There's the almost nudity that I loved as a kid. There's all the stupid stuff at the movie theater that like shoots the big laser. I love when they're taking the test and they're trying to cheat.
Oh my God.
It's so stupid.
When they're talking.
They're grown men doing this.
Yes,
going, this is hilarious. That's all the now, even looking at adult eyes, I still love it. It's bad. It's not a good movie.
When they're trying to talk after the spinning G thing, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And they're like,
that thing going around there.
Oh, was it right? All right, so my number 10. And I'm not gonna lie, is Austin Powers International Man of Mystery.
Okay. That's fine. He's a spy.
He is a spy. It counts.
That first one was a cultural touchstone.
Yes, it was, and I love. There's still a Universal Studios show occasionally that has Austin Powers show up. My friend played him for the better part of 20 years, and also I think it's a fun spoof on all the spy films. Like In Like Flint is a great spoof as well with James Coburn, those kinds of things. And I think not James Coburn.
No, it's
Dean Martin. Isn't Dean Martin? Who plays it?
Is it In Like Flint with Dean Martin?
I think In Like Flint is the one.
Which one's the one with Walter Matthau?
Oh, Jesus. I don't know. What's the one with Walter Matthau?
There's like a comedy spy with Matthau. I want to say it came out like 80.
Oh.
81.
Really?
I think so.
You mean the one with Dan Aykroyd? No. That's a different one.
No.
I don't even know, dude. Our Man Flint. Isn't that what it's called? Our Man Flint?
Okay, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's what it's called. And I remember it like those are the spoof things. But like, yeah, Our Man Flint. And Yeah, that's with James Coburn. Yeah.
Okay.
So and then I think Dean Martin did one that was a parody as well. So, but this is just perfect. I just absolutely love this film. I still go back and if I catch it, I'll watch it. And I think Mike Myers is just great as his character. And it spawned 2 sequels of arguably good value.
The second, I've actually never seen the third one
Okay.
because I had enough people tell me it is garbage.
Yeah.
Don't waste your time.
Okay.
And the second one at least introduced us to Mini-Me.
Yeah. Mini-Me.
And that is another, like, how do you top the first one? And then you bring Vern in. Vern Troyer still is a known commodity because of that movie and how good it was and how memorable the characters were.
Right.
And then the huge Scottish guy. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, fat bastard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun, but at the same time, Mini-Me is the takeaway from
Yes,
that.
agreed.
You knocked it out of the park with that.
Yeah. And Heather Graham is sweet in her part. Well, you can agree. You can say if she's good or bad in the movie, it's your choice. But like, I think she's sweet in that part. And I actually like the third one. I thought the stuff with Goldmember is just my favorite part of the movie. Like, everything with Goldmember is just brilliant because he's such a nutty characterization, and that Dutch accent is just brilliant.
Have you watched The Gong Show yet?
No, I won't do it. I don't want to do it.
It's getting good reviews.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No. Because when I saw the original promo, I haven't seen it either.
Okay.
But you're like, Mike Myers is doing...
And he's putting fake up...
but he's doing like an English accent, but it's not quite, so I don't know if it's like a Welsh or something, or maybe it's just from like Liverpool, a specific Liverpoolian accent or something. I don't know. It's like, so he's playing a character on this show, which is an interesting concept.
Yeah.
I just can't believe it made it to air.
It's weird what's happening because even Jamie Foxx is hosting a fucking game show on Fox.
I know.
What the fuck are you doing hosting a game show? You're an A-list actor. What the fuck are you doing
He's
wasting
not
time?
really, though. Until Baby Driver, give me the last big movie that he was in. And that's not even technically a big movie. It's just the word of mouth has been so strong that is going to be a movie that lasts.
I guess you're right. Ray is probably the last one. You know what? I discovered that Ray was 2004. I forgot. I thought it was like 2009, 2010. 2004. 13 years. I was shocked, dude.
He hasn't done much in between that's been big.
Yeah, I guess so. But either way, International Man of Mystery. Austin Powers, great stuff. Elizabeth Hurley in there, so sexy, so beautiful. And the parody jokes work.
Basil Exposition. Because that's all that character is exposition to set up. Awesome.
Just so great.
All the stupid jokes. I've carried the Carney's small hands with me until now.
Yes.
Carney's small hands. And just like the idea of... They're just these freakish little people with tiny hands. Like, oh, that's a great joke.
He's trying to get his mojo back. Like, all of it. Well, no, I said that was the second one, I guess, trying to get his mojo back.
Yeah.
But this is all like Dr. Evil, big,
$1 million. And they're all like,
Tim Robbins is the president. All of it is just brilliantly, very, very funny.
Robert Wagner is number 2.
Number 2, right, which is great. So,
and then Tom Arnold again comes up.
Yeah, he does.
In the bathroom scene. Who does know? Hey, just grab onto something. He's the Southern guy with no Southern accent. He just has a huge 10-gallon hat and like boots on and a really, mediocre suit.
Yeah.
No Southern accent that I recall.
So for me, I just enjoy his performance. And I think it's actually a very funny spoof on the spy films and the conventions and the cliches that you see in these spy films. And his portrayal is just so much fun with the teeth and everything. And, and it has these vulnerable moments where he's like trying to connect and find love, even though he's a Lothario and he sleeps around. He still wants to find love, and it
doesn't take advantage of her when she's drunk.
No, of course
still
not.
has this code, and
those funny cuts with like talking about the penis and the
the fruit and like everything in the way. Yeah, it's
brilliant.
It almost shouldn't work, and yet it does.
Yeah, Tom Shadyac did a nice job. Okay, so my number 9 was 3 Days of the Condor. My number 8 is I think it's an Austrian or German film, The Lives of Others.
Okay.
Have you seen this film?
No, it's one of those I meant to see because I heard enough people talking about it.
Yeah.
And then forgot about it.
Yeah, it's a really interesting film. If you haven't seen it, I would recommend you watching it. Yes, it does have subtitles, so maybe you can power through that. But like, he's a guy who's been assigned by the secret police to listen in on the conversations of this actress and these other people, and he ends up getting involved in their lives, trying to save because he thinks that he's sympathetic to their situation and trying to like keep them from danger. But in the end, there's a twist, and so it's such a great. It's almost like a cousin to The Conversation, the Gene Hackman film.
Yeah.
But I think this is more spy related than The Conversation was because he's actually taken an active involvement in all this situation.
Yeah, The Conversation is not a spy film.
No.
It's it deals with some of that world.
Yes.
Of eavesdropping and tapping and whatnot and listening in, but it's not really spycraft.
Yeah, it's more about the exploration of should we be listening?
Yeah, surveillance.
Surveillance. Right,
yeah,
exactly.
Thank you, Watergate. Now we have all these things to think about.
Yeah, exactly. So to me, I think it's one of those foreign films that if you haven't seen, you really will enjoy. It's worth your time, and it does like kind of mess you up up inside when twist happens and messes you up with these characters, and you don't see it coming, and when it happens, it just kind of unsettles you to no end. And I think it's great performances all around, and it's good to like explore spy movies from another angle, from another point of view, and than just American point of view. And I think this one really does
especially
a
a
great job.
German one, considering they had Berlin split in half, and more spycraft was happening there than anywhere else, in the 20th century.
Yeah. All right, so what's your number 7?
My number 7 is Enemy of the State.
Ooh, all right.
Not make your list?
Did not make my list.
It's
a good movie.
It's a really good movie.
Will Smith.
And it cemented Will Smith to me as Will Smith.
Yeah. Speaking of Conversations, this is rumored to be the sequel to The Conversation.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's the rumor.
Oh, because of Hackman?
Because he doesn't have a name.
That's true.
Yep.
I never thought about that.
Mm-hmm.
It just, before this, Will Smith can open an Independence Day type of movie, Nothing where it asks the audience to think along with the character and try and figure out this, seemingly complex plot as it's developing. And for Will Smith to carry that, it was like, wow, no, this guy is a movie star.
Yeah.
And it's weird because I was thinking about this right now. Wild Wild West is on Amazon Prime.
Oh, yeah.
I watched it over the course of 2 nights to fall asleep to. And A, it's weird to think of he turned down Matrix for that movie.
Ugh.
And B, that movie only has a giant spider in it because of the Kevin Smith story. If they wanted to reboot the producer, which is excellent.
Yeah.
But the fact that I don't in any way view Will Smith as a rapper or TV star, to me, he's Will Smith.
Yep.
He's a guy who can just act, and he's a movie star, and I got no problem with it. There's never been any kind of disconnect there, but it was cemented to me in Enemy of the State.
Yeah.
Where it's an excellent movie. It's a taut pace. There's a lot of great simplistic action sequences where it's just guys running.
Yeah.
But yet you're still completely transfixed as to what's going on.
Yeah.
And it's spycraft here in the States. It's something we're not supposed to be doing, which is listening to our own, unless you have some sort of warrant or something issued by a federal judge. But I think that's kind of fallen by the wayside given our current political climate.
Yeah.
That ever since 9/11, I'm pretty sure we're getting actively spied on by the NSA likely at all times. Certain keywords come up, boom, that gets recorded and saved.
Yeah.
Just like that sucks.
Yeah.
I can't do anything about it.
Right.
Unfortunately, I'm a powerless cog in the machine that is the United States.
And Tony Scott does a great job directing this movie.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pace going, he does his Tony Scott things, but with the angles and the different things with the camera, but it's great and fun to watch and really great work between both, a great chemistry between both of them, because Will Smith, like you said, he was still just starting out. So having this kind of chemistry with a established veteran actor,
Holds his own with Hackman.
He really does. And
Holds his own.
Plus, it's great to watch.
I liked the color palette in the film.
Yes.
There's a lot of grays and dark colors and muted tones and whatnot because they're existing in a what's legal, what's not.
Right.
Should the government be doing these types of things? Should
gray
they not?
area. Yeah.
So why not just capture that subconsciously within the audience's minds by framing it with that device?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's a really excellent movie. I'm sure most of the people that are listening have seen it just because it's a Will Smith. But if you haven't, it's a lot of fun, and I can't imagine it's more than 2 hours.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it might even be like $1.45 or something like that.
Right. All right, what's your number 6?
And my number 6 might be on your list.
Okay.
Is the original Manchurian Candidate.
That is not on my list.
Didn't make your list?
No, did not make my list.
It's
because I did my list on rewatchability.
Okay.
Like, can I go back and watch it again and enjoy the shit out of it? And Manchurian Candidate I've seen twice, and I love Sinatra to pieces, but it's just not one I go back and watch over and over again, and certainly not the remake. But certainly this original one. Is that the one you talk about, the remake or the original?
No, the original.
Oh, the original. Okay, good. Yeah, Angela Lansbury is chilling.
Yes.
In that movie. So yeah, go ahead, man. It's your number 6.
The reason, because I haven't seen it more than that. Maybe I've seen it 3 times.
Okay.
But the reason I put it on my list is because to me, I wasn't around in the 40s, 50s, 60s when tons of spy movies were coming out.
Yeah.
So in a lot of ways, Manchurian kind of sets the template on a lot of levels.
Yeah.
For what a spy movie is to me. Just like, you set it up in these ways and here are the types of characters and the situations they get into.
Right.
So I always found that interesting, just trying to plant someone in the White House and the idea that a foreign government would go to do that and then the machinations by which they would do it and who they would choose and how they would choose. And it was just an interesting thought experiment. As you're watching along, you start thinking about real world potentials. Yeah. And I have always enjoyed the movie because of those. It opened up other questions within me. Just like, oh, okay, well, if that's possible, what else is possible?
Right.
What has been done to us, and what have we tried to do?
Yeah.
You know, in the banana republics that we helped set up, and when we helped, you know, the CIA has helped overthrow numerous world leaders to put in somebody that's more sympathetic to the U.S.'s goals in that region.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we've done those things too. How have we done it? It just the idea that it is possible and you see it play out in front of you, that seems more like a realistic, you know, not necessarily that movie, but
Right.
it put me in a more realistic frame or headspace.
That's cool.
So I liked it because of that.
Okay.
And
Respect.
Lansbury is absolutely fantastic.
She really is, and I forget the main actor's name who plays.
I can't remember
the guy.
either.
Yeah, he's
Her and Sinatra would stand out.
Yeah, absolutely. They do such great work with
And
that.
it's so weird because I grew up in Lansbury's Murder, She Wrote.
Right. So you didn't know she could do
No.
these kinds of things.
So by the time I saw it, I knew she was in it. I was like, Angela Lansbury?
Right.
Murder, She Wrote? The woman from a bunch of the live action Disneys? Like, what? And then you see it and you're like, mother. Ooh.
Yeah, she's
It's like seeing a vicious turn from Betty White. You're like, I did not see that coming.
And great job. John Frankenheimer directed that movie. It's just great. One of those
Yeah.
ones that he hangs his hat on, you know, and so I like it too. That was your number 6?
Yeah.
Okay, so my number 7, I'm actually reordering my list now in my head right now, just as I think about it. Yeah, I think this works for me, actually. It's got to be my list, right?
Uh-huh.
All right, so my number 7 then is Argo. Is that on your list?
Nope.
Ah, okay, great. So that's my number 7. I really enjoyed that movie in terms of what it does at the time, you know, capturing that time in history with the the hostages in Iran and the terror and everything like that. And I think it's an interesting way in through this whole story of this guy, Tony Perez or Tom Perez, and he's a CIA operative. He's a spy who's going in there to help these people get out of Iran. And you know, you have some great performances by Scoot McNairy, obviously Ben Affleck, the same actress that's in *Halt and Catch Fire*.
Arkin and Goodman steal the movie.
Yeah, Arkin and Goodman are fantastic
They
as those
steal the
Hollywood
movie.
producers. Yeah, but the whole overall film, and it won Best Picture. You can argue, I think Zero Dark 30 should have won Best Picture instead of that film, but I thought Argo did a really nice job of exploring this from a different perspective. You know what I'm saying?
What killed me about Argo is as soon as they get in the air, somehow they're now in like international waters, so nobody can come after them.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if the government got on, the walkie-talkie and set up to the plane, we will shoot you down unless you turn around and land.
Yeah.
Pretty sure you need to cross some sort of international border before that's not a threat.
Yeah, but they'd have to mobilize the planes. Maybe it would take too long to mobilize them by the time.
I'm
they
sure a
shoot
jet
'em
fighter
down.
could catch a 747.
You think?
Pretty sure.
A little quicker.
Just a little bit. I mean, I don't know what they have. More than likely, they've got like old Russian technology at that point, so old MiGs or something.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure, considering those things fly at a faster rate, they can eventually catch a 747.
Well, this is when I grew up. You know, I was alive during this whole Tehran, the Iranian hostage crisis, and so to me, it was such an interesting way to go back into it and explore it, and also to find. To me, it was also good to find. Get to know these people in this situation and the tension that they built up. Like you said, there's always great tension in spy films, right? You have the tension throughout this movie. Now, and of course, some of the stuff's moved around for historical accuracy, or not historical accuracy, but for drama's sake. You know, the whole thing at the airport at the end, that's actually never happened. So that was all done to build up the tension. But you earn those moments by doing effective work up until that moment.
True.
And the film does that. And I think the casting and the writing and the pacing of it all just really works. And you're right. The Arkin and Goodman steal the movie because they're the balance to the drama that's happening on the other side. And it ends up being a good, happy story or a happy ending, and the way it works out, but still with that feeling of like it's more of an escape and a relief than a joy. And I think that's what happens in most spy movies, you know?
Yeah.
So, all right, that's my number 7.
That's your 7. What you got to say?
Right. My number 6 is Kingsman, The Secret Service. Is that on your thing at all?
For some reason, I didn't write it down because I guess I didn't think of it as a spy film.
Yeah, well, they're spies.
Yeah, they are. I can't fight you on that. For some reason, when I'm writing it, I've got like 15 in front of me.
Yeah. No, it's all right. So I put it there because I just enjoyed that movie. And the rewatchability is off the charts for me.
It is. I hope the second one's good.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I'm looking forward to that one. But yeah, it was such a different type of approach to a spy film. It's in essence a
It's Excalibur.
Yeah, basically. Exactly.
It is. It's King Arthur's court.
Right.
It's, here's Lancelot coming in, and now the court is gone, and can you help us, basically regain Camelot?
Yeah.
And it's interesting. It's a great, the only thing that killed me was the anal joke in that movie.
The animal joke?
Anal.
Oh, yeah, right.
There was
with the woman.
absolutely no need of it.
Yeah, probably it's gratuitous, yeah.
No, it just, I don't care if there is,
Right.
but find the right moment for it. And it's like, why is this happening right now?
Yeah.
Like, you could have gone for any other joke. Why did it have to go so blue? It just didn't make sense. It seemed out of context and character
Yeah.
for him and for the older woman. Just like, why are we going anal right now?
Why do we even have to, but why do we have to, I mean, I get the joke. Why do we have to see it, right? That's the question too. It's like, okay.
Yeah, at the end.
She said it. And then you're like, okay, that's kind of funny joke, kind of, because it's so out there. And the film has been so out there already up to this point.
True.
So you've kind of laid the groundwork that fantastical shit is going to happen in this film. And the fact that she'd go right to anal as if that's some kind of extra prize, you know what I'm saying? And so it was just an interesting joke to make. But then to come back and show, it would have been just fine with her smiling through the thing and him opening the door. And him, like, maybe taking a look, breaking the fourth wall with his eye raised, his eyebrow cocked. That'd have been just enough. But to show that other thing, I get it, why they did it. But it just seems like...
See, I don't. I just don't. Considering the rest of the film, I think is pretty, like, pitch perfect.
It really is, man. And such great work. And Colin Firth is great. That whole scene in the church, that's some unsettling shit, man.
I know.
Whew.
But the action is actually genuinely believable.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why it sounds unsettling, because it feels so real, like it's certainly possible.
Yeah, just how he manages to escape doesn't seem like some comic book superhero. He just happened to levitate and fire laser beams or some bullshit like that. It's just like, nah, he dodged this and got around that, and those people were fighting over there, so he didn't have to worry about it. And just assessing risk and taking out the most high value risk target as they come across your plate.
Exactly. And such great work from, I thought, Sam Jackson, even with that weird lisp thing. Every once in a while, he does weird stuff with his characters, like with Mr. Glass and that haircut and everything. But he makes it work.
Yeah,
he makes it work. And I thought he did a nice job with that. And he really takes, I don't know, he takes it to another level when he does stuff like that makes it so much more enjoyable to watch the film, and especially on rewatchability. And Matthew Vaughn, being the director and taking that thing where he took it and actually making it work. And Sofia Boutella, I mean, what a way to introduce yourself to the world. With that character of Gazelle, with her feet that have those blades on it, and it's interesting timing wise, because right off of what's his face getting convicted for
in South Africa,
that
sprinter, the Bionic Man,
what
was his name for killing his girlfriend, for firing gunshots through a bathroom door, and just it's a crazy story.
Yeah. He's just totally guilty. But anyway, to see her use those things in that way, it's something you'd never seen in a spy movie, Bond, or otherwise before. Exactly.
Just turn your legs into weapons like that.
It was fantastic.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and I love the idea of what he's doing. It's actually using the technology of the day to manipulate people, to push their buttons, to get them crazy. And it spares no expense. Like, it really gets dark. Like, when that mother is, that dude's mother, Exley's mother, I think his name is, putting the knife through the door to try to get to her baby, to kill her baby. It's like, what the fuck is going on here? So that's what I enjoyed about the movie. As fun, as interesting, and playful as it also was pretty fucking dark at certain moments, So that's why I put it where I put it.
Balloons popping type of.
Exactly. All right, what's your number 5?
Okay. Well, it's funny. You reordered your list. I just reordered mine.
Did you really?
Because I think rewatchability does play into it.
Right?
Because I make that argument for something later on.
Okay.
So I did a little swapperoo.
All right.
And my number 5 is North by Northwest.
Ooh, nice choice, brother. I love how you have all the classics on your list and I don't.
You don't have North by Northwest?
What the fuck is going on in our world, man?
It's just because I felt like I almost needed more, because to me, in a lot of ways, spy films were kind of defined so long ago that now it seems like we're just ripping off the past, which is inevitable, and you say that about anything in cinema for the most part.
Right.
Just like any art form.
Yeah.
But they just hit it out of the park. I mean, Cary Grant plus Hitchcock.
Yeah.
What else do you need?
Well, that's a good point.
What
and Eva Marie Saint.
Yeah.
And Martin Landau is a very scary villain. I think for me, it's more a matter of the fact that he's not a spy. He's just a regular dude who gets caught up in this whole thing. And so it doesn't feel necessarily like a spy film, but you're absolutely right. It certainly qualifies because she's a spy.
I see your point.
She's a spy and he's a spy, Martin Landau.
Yeah.
So it certainly qualifies.
But the fact that a civvy gets wrapped up into that world, well, it's almost like Redford before in 3 Days of the Condor.
Right.
He does work for the CIA. But
that's why
he's practically a civilian.
Yeah.
Which, what's the likelihood of this actually happening? Probably never.
But
You know what I mean? If you're not a spy, it's not like they're just going to pull you into the spy world
Yeah.
unless they need you something, I guess, for something key.
Right.
Like only you can do it and they're only going to trust you. So we got to indoctrinate you to this world.
Will's like enemy of the state. Same thing. Will's not a spy.
Yeah, he's not.
But he gets dragged into this thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but what is he? He's a cop? He's a lawyer.
He's a lawyer.
So he's kind of in criminal justice.
Yeah.
Understands the law.
He's
like
connected.
he's still somewhat in the world, not really.
Yeah.
But
But this is a great Hitchcock film.
it is. It just it's classic taut Hitchcock thriller without the horror element. He just managed to get the psychological aspects through the guise of a spy film.
Yeah.
And it's got a bunch of nice twists and turns, and what character is doing what, and plus it's Cary Grant.
Yeah.
It the height of Cary Grant.
Yeah.
It's one of those it's
So
great
smooth.
when you go back and you look at like this dude was a star, and then you see the movie, you're like, of course he was a star.
Yeah.
It's like that translates. I don't even care if I don't like the movie. I get it. I totally understand why people went gaga for whoever it is from whatever era. Like once you see them at their apex and you see them do a few things, you'll be like, I get it. I see why you were willing to follow this person through some schlock.
Yeah.
Because eventually they'll turn out something good because their charm will carry you through.
Yeah. And no one wore a suit like he wore a suit in films.
Hell no.
Dude, he's just so dashing, man. Literally the word dashing.
He is.
He is there.
Just, effortlessly just strolls in and you're like, that dude exudes confidence and charisma and it looks completely effortless.
Yeah.
And it's just so impressive to watch.
Yeah.
But then to see him play, with all that baggage, to play a character that gets thrust into a world and now he doesn't have all that confidence.
Yeah.
And doesn't have. It's still there.
Right.
Because you can't take that away.
This is a natural energy.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like Clooney.
Right.
You
Yeah.
can't-
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can't take it away.
Yeah.
But you can put him in situations where it does you no good because you have no real confidence in the situation you're presently in.
Yeah.
So the confidence you have is utterly misplaced. Really? And you're wise enough to know, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing and I need help.
Right. That dust cropper scene is legend.
Yeah.
For a reason. Yeah.
It's
so
an
great.
excellent film. Go back. That's another, though, I assume everybody has seen
Right.
at this point. It's a classic Hitchcock. So please see North by Northwest.
No. They staged the finale at Mount Rushmore. That's amazing. What a brilliant way to do that. Take advantage of American landmarks. So that's your number 5.
Yep.
All right, my number 5 is Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol.
Okay. I don't have any of the Mission Impossibles. I don't.
The way Matt just swallowed his spit and stared off at the wall in disgust.
It's not disgust. It's just I can't help you. I don't.
You don't like any of these films? Ghost Protocol?
I don't dislike.
Okay.
The problem is once you put Tom Cruise in this role, I never believe that the protagonist is going to fail. So the level of stakes that I give the character is
Gotcha.
not as much as I would in another person.
Did you like 3? Did you think 3 was the most realistic in terms of the villain
Was that the one
being-
with Hoffman?
Yeah, the villain being able to get him?
Possibly.
Okay.
I don't know. They're all kind of like, at this point, they're all kind of the same, which is they put out solid movies. to
Yeah.
me. And I'm happy to see it in the theater because it's a good, you should see that in the theater type of movie.
Absolutely. It's a great time in the theater.
Yeah.
But I like this one. This is my favorite one of them all. And it's really close. Rogue Nation was a good film too, but I thought the villain disappearing for over an hour of the movie was an issue for me. But with Rogue Nation, you have and Paula Patton coming in is great. Jeremy Renner being introduced is great. That whole storyline going on there. And then, of course, what happens with Michelle Monaghan later in the movie when she'd been introduced in number 3. All of that is great. And the guy he fights is the guy from Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. And those fights that they have in the car park and out in the desert when they're chasing each other, just great stuff. And so for me, if you're going to talk about spy films, you can't ignore spy franchises, and this is definitely one of those top spy franchises ever in the history of film. And I think this is the best of them. It's incredibly well directed. The plot is well done. The action sequences when he's jumping outside that hotel in Dubai and doing all those things on the window, like it's just massively awesome, and it just gets me go. And I love Tom Cruise to pieces for most of everything he does, and so to see him in this movie, it's just so much fun, and that's why I put it there. And it's great spy stuff.
Yeah, I'm not going to fight you. Look, we both have soft spots for Tom Cruise.
We really do.
Days of Thunder is a goddamn American masterpiece.
I agree with you.
And if you don't get it, you just don't get it.
You just don't get America.
You just don't get it.
That's right.
I don't even like NASCAR, but that movie speaks to me.
I'm first generation American, and that movie still speaks to me. Man.
Yeah, but it's Tom Cruise.
Yeah,
that's just what it kills me in this. But whereas like Minority Report, I 100% buy into the character.
Love that movie.
Yeah,
yeah.
Whereas in this, I just know that the character is always going to be kind of fine.
Yeah.
Even the worst that befalls him, it's just like, you'll make it out. You'll be fine.
Okay.
You might have the collateral damage of losing someone that's close to you.
Right.
Because that's all they can really do to harm you.
Yeah.
But they can't really harm you.
Yeah.
So,
All right. What's your number 4?
By number 4. And this is where it gets interesting.
I wonder if we're going to have anything of the same here. This is interesting.
I think we'll have minimum 1, but I'm thinking maybe 3.
I love how we haven't had any yet, though, have we?
You get 3 Days of the Condor.
Oh, yeah, we got that one. Okay.
And that is it.
That's it. All right, go ahead.
That's fine. I think 3 of the next 4 we definitely have. I'd put money on it. I'd put $20.
You said that last
time. I will check mark the ones I think.
Okay.
Which will be my next one, the one after that, and then one after that. I'm not trying to give you the order.
All right.
It's just my next one and 2 more.
Okay.
My next one at number 4 is The Bourne Identity.
Oh, not the one I have on my list.
Which one'd you go with?
Ultimatum, the third one.
That's fine.
I love the third one.
I'll take either.
Okay.
It doesn't matter to me. I think the first one is just superior because the character didn't exist before this.
Fair point.
And Matt Damon went from, talented Mr. Ripley, and he could play these really interesting characters. And
Good Will Hunting, what have you.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, they're going to put him in a spy thriller. And you're like, what? And you start seeing some of the clips, and you're like, wait a second. And then you watch it, and you're like, I have no doubt in my mind that this is a legitimately real, like when he unknowingly, just from sense memory and muscle memory, can do all this like fight. It looks so effortless that you 100% buy into it.
Yeah.
And like he's been so brainwashed, or his mind has been erased so many times that like when he has that discussion with Clive Owen, and they're like, do you get those headaches? I get such bad headaches. And just the reality of the day-to-day, like they built the character up so beautifully in that film, just like the amnesia, and he drags the one girl in with him who was in, what was that one movie where she's like, run the little run?
Oh, yeah, Franca Potent.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's great.
They're a dynamic pair.
Yeah, they really are.
Between the two of them, there's such amazing chemistry.
Yeah.
And
that's why the second one pissed me off so much.
But at the same time,
I get why, but it still pissed me off. Yeah,
you can't do that to Bourne.
I know.
Can't.
You're right.
If it's going to have a life, you can't have that.
Yeah, you're right. Dramatically, it makes sense.
I know.
Or narratively, rather, it makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
But you're right. This is a fantastic film, and it's great to see Damon, try something new and then succeed so powerfully. It's still a franchise.
Yeah.
With the last one coming out last year, so like he's still pushing this narrative of Jason Bourne all these years later because that first one was so good. The action sequences are great. The fights are, I think it was the first one of those first ones where you see close-up camera angles on those fights, and you get to admire the style of these fights, especially close in, like when he's jumping through the building and he lands on that dude and they're fighting in the shower, in the tub, it's just amazing.
Dude, when he jabs the pin into the guy's knuckles, oh my God.
Yeah.
I've never seen a big pin be so lethal. And when it goes in, instantly I could feel the pain in my own hand.
Yeah.
Like your brain could conjure, that must hurt like this.
Right. And the different ways in which he takes Franca Potent into these different situations, and she's having to help him figure things out with her context and her knowledge and her knowledge of the area and her friends. Like all of it is just a great combination that allows for you to never feel settled no matter what's happening, because you know something darker is coming around the corner,
Well, but they do a great job of setting that up in like the small moments when they're in the car together and they're driving somewhere.
Yeah.
She's flabbergasted by the fact that he can't remember anything about himself. And he starts like, look, I don't know this, but I know at this altitude, I can run at this speed for this long.
Right.
Now, why do I know that? And just like rattling off of the life bubbling up is not the life that you anticipated because you don't know what your life is. That you have all these weird, like, okay, when I walk into a room, I'm assessing danger and I know that the best escape route is this way. And like, why do I do that? Well, there's obviously one obvious answer for that. It's going to be something in this realm. And just the character exploration of how he gradually, slowly just kind of army crawls his way to more and more information, which he gets to in the third one.
Yeah. And that's why, that's why I put that one on there. All right. That was your number 4?
That was my 4.
Okay. My number 4 is Syriana.
Okay.
Yeah. That film, I know I'm one of the few people that champions this film.
I like it.
I love it. It's a film it's a film I rewatch all the time. All the time. I can't explain what about it. Maybe growing up in D.C., maybe being in military intelligence for 8 years in the Army. there's just something about the combination of it all that works for me so well because it's a great combo of spy stuff and legislative, judicial
Plus
stuff.
corporations.
Plus corporations. All of it is just so dense. It's such a dense movie with a lot of moving parts. The whole stuff with oil, obviously, also, you know, in the
Middle East.
Yeah, all of that is just so, it's just incredibly, and Stephen Gaghan, I think, directed this one and wrote it, and it's so interesting to watch Clooney navigate this. It's so not anything Clooney had ever done before or ever done since.
For some reason, I thought this was a Clooney directed.
No,
he did
no,
this
no.
the same time as Good Night, Good Luck.
Yeah, he did at the same time. Yeah. But he
Okay.
gained like 30 pounds or 25 pounds for this and won the Oscar for it and for Best Supporting Actor.
Yeah, he screwed his spine up doing
Yeah,
it.
he did, which they make a joke about in Ocean's 13. But like this whole thing with, and Matt Damon's in this too. Matt Damon
Yeah.
playing with Amanda Peet, that couple.
He's the
that was-
financial.
Yeah,
Yeah, that gets dragged in because of what befalls them
right, exactly.
when they go to Saudi Arabia or Qatar or wherever in the world they are, Abu Dhabi,
Yeah, but and then
Dubai. I don't know where they're at.
yeah, and then you have the stuff that goes on with Jeffrey Rush. Jeffrey Wright. Jeffrey Wright, who's
Oh, yeah.
exploring the stuff as a
Like
lawyer.
Jeff Rush.
Yeah.
In my head, I was like, I don't remember Jeff Rush being in that.
Captain Barbosa, he's in that shit. But no, Jeffrey Wright going through it and the relationship he has with his dad, too. That's a nice little subplot that you don't normally see this with African-American characters in films, having them have their issues with their fathers like in such a certain way. It's highlighted in the film powerfully enough that you don't need a lot of scenes. You get that this guy is driven in a darker way, in something that's we don't see that's overt. It's deeper. And I think everyone, Christopher Plummer, everyone in the film has these ulterior motives. You know, even when Clooney gets beat up, the way he gets beat up, it's horrible. The way they're pulling the fingernails off,
Yeah.
like all of it, just the pace of it, the score, the cinematography. All of it just keeps me so engrossed that I can't. And then the ending,
The ending
with
is
this
good.
sad ending. You're just like, God damn, dude.
Yeah, but that's how I assume most
Yeah.
of those type of situations would probably end up.
Yep. And that's what's even more painful. And
Yeah.
and
They were fighting
the
long
rewatch.
odds, and the
Yeah.
odds caught up.
Because he's so noble in his fight. You really feel his fight.
Ultimately,
Yeah.
he starts off as flawed, and then he
Right.
finds a cause that does seem worth championing.
Yeah.
And you see it from all the different angles, and be like, yes, this should be what we should be striving for.
Yeah.
This type of individual in that region, and trying to enable the change that he feels that should occur within the country.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And the reasons at which there are barriers to that progressing.
Yeah.
You're like it's almost too real,
Yeah. Exactly.
unfortunately.
All right. That was my number 4. What's your number 3?
My number 3, I don't know if it'll be a punt or not.
Oh boy.
Skyfall.
That is a punt.
That is a punt.
It is a punt.
Wow, so that means that is number 1 for somebody.
Way to like sell out my list, man.
Well, otherwise, if it was 2, we'd be talking about
That's
it.
true,
Since
that's
it's my number 3. So what do you got at 3?
I have the Bourne Ultimatum at 3.
Okay.
So there's not much to say about it other than the only reason I like it is because I think it really expands the world even more from the first 2, and really he gets to find out what all this was all about, with the stuff with Albert Finney and his flashbacks, the stuff with Julia Stiles happening through the situation. Patty Considine is that reporter. All of it. It just takes what is so great about the first one and amplifies it to the nth degree, and really gets all the answers. And Joan Allen coming in, having that situation with David Strathairn, like there's all of that through the whole movie. It constantly keeps you on your toes and thinking and moving. And he still has time to fight certain situations and get in situations, but you're with him on this journey as he's trying to figure this out. It's almost a detective story, really, almost more than a spy
Kind of.
movie, right?
Yeah.
Because he's constantly trying to find out what his identity is because he can't remember. And he has flashes, only flashes. It's almost, and it has shades of Wolverine too, where Wolverine like remembers being dipped in the water, but he doesn't remember who did it, and Stryker and all
Yeah.
that stuff. So yeah, all of it is in there, and I just enjoyed it for
And
that.
interesting that Stryker's in both.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Very good point. All right. What's your number 2?
My number 2 is not going to be on your list,
Okay.
but my number 1 is. So my guess is your number 2 is my number 1, and we already discussed your number 1. Well, we punted on your
Let's
number
hope
1.
so. We'll see.
So my number 2 is definitely on your list, but I'll be damned if it's not an excellent choice.
Yeah.
The Hunt for Red October.
That is not on my list.
See, you should probably go get in your car.
That's not a spy film.
Drive. Why? It's
He just defects. He's not a
defects, but
spy.
it's a CIA operative
Oh,
that
you
has
mean-
to read the tea leaves. It's basically what Robert Redford does. So he's
mean
got to
Hunt for Red
figure out.
October?
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
Alec
no, you
Baldwin.
mean Alec Baldwin, right?
Alec
It's
Baldwin.
Jack Ryan.
Yeah, and he's got to convince the American government that this guy is a defector, and he's bringing information, which is spycraft. You're transferring information from one government to another that they're willing to kill over.
Yeah.
That's spycraft.
Okay.
So yes, this counts to me as it's the CIA versus the KGB.
I had such hopes for you.
How is this not a spy movie? Just because it takes it's naval entities that are.
He's just trying to get him to defect. That's all.
Yeah, but it's ultimately
Does he have information? I forget if he has. It's been a while since I've seen it.
It's not the defection. It's technically defection, but it's the Caterpillar technology.
Oh, that's right. That's what it is. Right.
So it's that they can drive their boat off to the eastern seaboard, and we were none the wiser because sonar is not going to pick them up.
We won't hear them.
Yeah, and they can park 15, 20, 30, how many ever nuclear warheads, just ICBMs right off the coast. So it's the transfer of that information, that intel, which is spycraft.
That's fair.
That is, yes, it is them defecting, but is the CIA. The KGB is trying to stop this from happening because this is a state-guarded secret.
This is going to be a crazy list.
It's fucking, I love this movie.
It's a good movie. Hey, I didn't include it because it wasn't a good movie. I fucking love this movie. John McTiernan, great work on this. Alec Baldwin, you're right. Connery, Tim Curry.
James Earl Jones.
Sam Neill. Jeffrey Jones himself.
Jeffrey Jones.
All that stuff.
Tim Curry.
Yeah, Tim Curry's great as the doctor.
Who else is in this? Oh, shit, there's
Does Ann Archer play his wife in this too? Or no?
I don't know.
I forget who plays his wife in this.
I don't remember.
Or maybe if there is a wife in this one.
I don't know if they show her.
Yeah. By the way, I didn't put any of the Jack Ryan films on my list. I don't know why.
I can't remember which of the Clear and Present or Patriot Games. Which one's the one with Sean Bean?
The one that's about the IRA.
That's the better one.
I think that's Clear and Present Danger.
Okay.
What's the other one? Patriot Games?
Patriot. One is about South America. One is about the IRA.
Yeah, maybe it is Patriot.
The one about the IRA I like better.
Okay. I don't know why. I don't gravitate to the Harrison Ford spy film, the Jack Ryan spy films. So Clear and Present Danger is the South America one. So
okay.
Yes, Patriot Games is the other one, yeah. So yeah, I don't gravitate to the Jack Ryan ones just as powerfully as everybody else. Like I don't mind watching them, but they don't hold the same magic for me, allure. But Hunt for Red October is fucking good.
See, that one's like, because they've had so many different actors, it's almost
true.
It's not even a franchise.
Affleck, Chris Pine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've had 4 over 5 films.
Right. And arguably good quality through most of those films.
Sure.
Yeah.
But the only one that I truly hang my hat on is Red October.
I don't disagree with you, man. It's such a great, even though he's from Edinburgh, even though he's Russian.
Yeah, but they start off speaking Russian and they zoom in on the mouth.
Yeah.
And then once it gets close enough, boom, English, and they just pull out, and we don't have to deal with subtitles.
We don't.
Yeah. Which is going to turn off the average American audience goer.
Yeah.
That's fair. Plus, it's an action movie.
Yeah, it is.
So you got to appeal to your base.
Well, that's another person, Stellan Skarsgård. He plays
Stellan Skarsgård, yeah, the other captain that comes in late in the game.
You've killed us.
Yeah,
I love that.
Take all the safeties off.
That's right.
Fuck yeah, Crazy Ivan. Which side?
Yeah.
Starboard or port, Jonesy?
No, but you're right, Matt. It's such a fantastic submarine or a film rather, and great action and all the stuff that goes on between them and. You're right. I probably should have considered it more.
Well, you just thought of it apparently as a defection film.
Yeah, I did. I really did. I only focused on it being. I forgot about the Caterpillar technology.
That's the most important thing. Yeah. If they just wanted to come over and be like, "Well, what else you got for us?"
Right.
Unless you got state secrets, like Connery might, but there's no way he's going to be able to get his entire officer crew.
Right.
Just knowing a couple state secrets, he can get himself.
Yeah.
Whereas handing over this boat, which is a huge technological advantage to one side over the other,
right,
and it evens the playing field. I mean, it's like do you watch the TV show Manhattan?
Yeah.
Having the spies in there, it makes sense of like, listen, if we can get that information, that's huge.
Yeah.
Because it's not really a good idea for any one individual to have that kind of power.
Yeah. And Scott Glenn's in it. Scott Glenn, too.
Yeah, Scott Glenn is the American. I think it's the Indianapolis's.
That's right.
Oh, and Fred Thompson.
Fred Thompson, that's right. Awesome, Fred Thompson.
Yeah. Good cast top to bottom. Excellent movie. Should be on your list. Should definitely be on your
Thanks
list.
for the dig. I appreciate it.
No problem.
So is it my turn for my number 2?
Your number 2 is going to be my number 1. Go ahead.
No, it isn't.
Guaranteed.
Is it really?
Go ahead.
Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
Soldier Spy.
Yes. All right.
Soldier Spy.
I was afraid you weren't going to put it on there, dude. What a great film.
This is what I assume spycraft is.
Absolutely. Listen, I wanted to put The Spy Who Came In From the Cold, the Richard Burton movie, but it's not quite as good as this. Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy is fantastic, man, and it's a remake.
It's plus it's like life.
Yeah.
There's the story you tell. There's the story you tell yourself, and then the middle ground is the actuality. and how they navigate that through so many characters and so many different plot lines, and it comes out in the end, and you're like, it's almost too simplistic.
Yeah.
Once you finally get it and be like, the motivations are just as natural and human as anybody else would have.
Yeah.
But it's just wrapped up with, well, unfortunately, the stakes involved are so much higher than your average interaction.
Yeah.
But the simplicity of the overall, like the payoff at the end of like, this is why this happened and this and this and this.
Well, it's the cream of the crop of
It is.
English actors, right? Gary
got Oldman,
Tom Hardy,
Toby Jones,
Colin Firth,
Strong. Was it Mark Strong?
Right, Mark Strong. Well, he's in that, of course. I forget who plays the lady who takes care of them, the older lady in the place.
I don't remember. I'd have to look it up.
Okay. But yeah, all this stuff going on through, and it takes its time. Mm-hmm. It takes its sweet
As it
ass
should.
time. Yeah, exactly.
It's a spy film.
Oh, John Hurt's in it. That's right.
Yeah. John Hurt is in it.
Yeah. It takes its sweet ass time going through this very complex and dense spy situation, and it's all about. Once again, it's a detective story to a degree because it's Gary Oldman trying to find out what happened in the situation, who was the person who sold them out, who was the spy in their midst, and go through it methodically through the whole. And he never breaks, like he never gets too emotional. He never goes, and it's just It's just great.
It's the genius of bringing in basically a civilian almost, a guy that used to have the job but doesn't know any of the current players.
Right.
So you can get an objective lens as to what's going on.
Yeah.
Because you don't know who to trust at this point.
Right.
And I think that's also why it needs to take its time.
Yes.
It's you as the audience are Gary Oldman coming in us, trying to suss out all the details and figure out, what is actually what. Where is terra firma amongst all these lies?
Right.
And
Jesus, Cumberbatch is in this. Kieran Hines is in this. Good God, man. I love people in this thing.
It's a hell of a cast, and it's a hell of a movie.
Yep.
It really should be your number one. I respect your number one.
I mean,
your number one's an excellent choice.
It is, isn't it?
And if you're only going to choose one spy film,
Skyfall is my number one. Excellent. Listen, I know it's your number three, and I respect it as your number three. But
go ahead.
It's just everything to me, dude. Matt, it's a film that I revisit all the fucking time. Like anytime I'm sitting at work sometimes and I'm like, I don't know what to watch. I'll just fucking put on Skyfall just for the fuck of it. And I won't finish it because I've got breaks and stuff like that. But I will sit there and watch it on my half-hour, 45-minute breaks that I have throughout the day at the park. And it is an enjoyable thing to revisit every single time. And it's just so well done. Great villain in Javier Bardem. Love Judi Dench, the Dame Judi Dench. Love everything that happens. The introduction of the new Q with Ben Whishaw. Yeah. He's such a great Q. All the way they set up the film.
Plus Ralph Fiennes coming in.
Right, Ralph Fiennes coming in as the new M, and all that stuff that happens between them and their relationship. And you have what's his name? Is it not Brian Cox? What's his name? Oh, Albert Finney.
Albert Finney. Yeah.
Yeah, at the end with the Scottish house and everything. So to me, the progression of the film is so great. We've been building up to it through Casino Royale, through Quantum Solace to a lesser degree, but really in this Skyfall, it's just the greatest. The visuals, the action sequences, the fights, the story itself, and where it leads to, and even the end fight is just so powerful. And then it ends up just being two dudes in the middle of an ice water fighting it out all the way to the end into a church and all the stuff that happens. And it's all because another spy was sold out. So it's legitimate. His anger is totally legitimate, which makes it even more interesting of a film to watch.
You identify with both sides.
Yeah.
You understand why Bardem is doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
And you understand why what was done was done.
Right.
It's like I have to make a choice, and if you don't realize that, unfortunately, you're a pawn.
Yeah.
Even though you're my strongest pawn, maybe you're not. Maybe you're a bishop or a rook, or something like that. You have power over a simple pawn, but you're not the king. You're not the queen.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, you have to be sacrificed in this war.
Yeah.
And that's got to be a tough pill to swallow, especially, if the cyanide doesn't work.
Right. Which we see. I mean, that's one of those really unsettling moments in film.
The only thing that kills it is strong, but afterwards, once others started to pick it apart around me, certain things have, like with the subway car coming down, like that had to be perfectly timed. So he knew the train schedules and exactly when to run exactly. At the same time, he's a super villain.
Super spy,
Sure. It's also in a world where there are super spies like this that have license to kill.
That's true.
They gallivant around the world and 5-star accommodations, first class this.
Yeah.
can waltz into anywhere and get a drink, a table, the woman, anything.
And it's also dark, man, with, the situation happens to that woman that comes to the island and he just fucking Bardem just shoots her in the head, man. It's dark as hell throughout the whole movie, which is what I enjoy about this version of James Bond. I will always fight for the Daniel Craig Bond films over any other collection of Bond films. I just think it's darker, it's more real, it's grittier, and it's closer to what Ian Fleming had written Bond to be. The Sean Connery films are nice. The Roger Moore films are great. They're fun to enjoy.
They're kitsch.
Yeah, they're kitsch, right. And so it doesn't quite have the same power. I mean, and I think Bardem is one of the best villains of any Bond film, including Blofeld or Scaramouche or any of these other guys that you have.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's just way, way more dangerous because he knows everything they're going to do ahead of time.
Yeah, he was trained in the same thing that they know, so it's not like he can't anticipate their next move.
Exactly. And it has one of the best intros. Like, usually the Bond intros, he gets away with it. He gets shot.
Yeah.
And knocked into the water.
Well, but he's in the place that Bardem was in, and she had to make a judgment call.
Yes.
And it took him a long time to figure out why.
Yeah.
To be okay with why.
Yeah.
And, the discussion that they have and be like, I'm sorry. I have to take that shot.
Exactly.
And if you're in my position and our roles are reversed, you have to take that shot because the outcome is more important than my life.
Mm-hmm.
If we're truly here to do what we're here to do, then unfortunately, it's my number got called.
Yep.
My ticket got punched, whatever the case is.
It's the price you pay for the life you choose.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. You knew walking into it that this is a plausible outcome.
Yeah. And I think what makes this movie so great also, Matt, is the relationships. Like, it really is. I can't overstate that enough. The relationship between Judi Dench and Daniel Craig throughout this movie. Roger Craig, the running back from the 49ers. No, Daniel Craig.
I stepped his way to super spide him. He was the best.
Those two, their relationship is so great. So that when what happens to her at the end, you really feel that. You know, and I don't think you've ever felt that with any M character and Bond. And so to establish that relationship through, it's almost mother and son. It's almost hard ass mother and son, but it works, you know. And Daniel Craig's anger is so, dude, that guy is so great as Bond. We're gonna miss him, man. We're gonna miss him. I don't care who takes his place. We're gonna miss him.
It needs to Idris is still my number one choice.
Sure.
I don't. Everybody else that's been put forth, I'm like,
yeah, but Idris won't have that. He won't have that gritty darkness, man. He does a great job with Luther. I think Luther's great, and he's so good in it. But he has that charm, that kind of whereas Daniel Craig's charm is like a fist in your face. That's his charm is he has. I'm really fucking charming, and you're just like, whoa, yes, okay,
it's true. It's very aggressive.
It is, and I love that kind of Bond. I connect to him more than. And maybe that's because I'm somewhat of an aggressive person at times.
Possibly.
Maybe. I don't know.
The mirror likes what the mirror likes, There's nothing wrong with that.
Anyway. So
I don't know. I don't know what they do going forward. Whatever. Yeah. Even if they pick somebody that doesn't quite work, Bond will still exist.
True.
So if that one fails, then they'll try somebody else after that. And I foresee Bond going on for a long time.
Yeah.
It's not going away. It's 20-something films into this now.
Yeah.
So... All right, there it is.
There it is. That's our separate lists.
Now we got to do the shows between the two of us.
I feel like Skyfall could be 2. Tinker Tailor Soldier 1. Is that correct? Because I have it at 2. You have it at 1.
Yeah, that is correct.
Is that correct on there?
And then after that, you got Ultimatum. I'm saying trying to find some sort of commonality.
Yeah, I feel like Identity. Do you want to put them as a slash? Or just put it as. I mean, I'm happy to give in on Identity. You're right. I mean, it's the first one. It lays the groundwork for everything that comes after. I defend Ultimatum as expanding the universe, but I respect the fact that Identity laid the groundwork first. So I'm happy to just kind of combine that into one. What's your next one?
After that, the only other commonality we have is 3 Days at the Condor.
Yeah, but that's way down the list. I don't want to put it that high. So
I got Red October next at number 2.
Well, since I gave in on Ultimate, will you give me Syriana at 4? And then Hunt for October at 5? I mean, I gave in on that good.
Answer this honestly.
Yeah.
Of the two movies.
Yeah. You're asking me this now.
Objectively.
Remember, you're asking me this now. Yes.
Which do you think is a more enjoyable, better movie?
The Syriana. I watch Hunt for October once every 5 or 6 years. Shit. Syriana, I watch 3 or 4 times a year.
Yeah, Red October, I do the same thing. I can watch that anytime.
Once again, I gave it.
It's a Saturday afternoon movie to me. All right, you gave me Identity. I'll give you. You got it right there.
There it is. The show's about compromise, people.
You have to. Otherwise, we're going to sit here for 3 hours.
I mean, and we don't have 3 hours.
No.
All right, what's your next one?
Well, then, yeah, my next one then would be Red October.
Right, of course. And then what's your next one after that?
After that is North by Northwest.
All right, I'll give you that one there.
Okay.
But because I probably should have put that on the list anyway. That's such a great film. Will you give me Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol after that?
Sure.
Okay. So that's number 7, right? Mission Impossible? Yep. Okay, so what's your number 8?
Well,
what's
then
your next one, rather?
We should do 3 Days of the Condor.
Oh, that's good. Yes, at number 8. Good. I like that idea. Okay.
And then after that, I got Manchurian at 6. What do you got next?
Kingsman.
At what?
Well, it was at what? 6.
So we both got ours at 6.
Yeah.
Neither had it.
What else do you have on that list besides Manchurian Candidate?
Enemy of the State, True Lies, No Way Out.
Dude, I would catapult No Way Out. I would absolutely agree with catapulting No Way Out to 9 and give me Kingsman at 10. What's your feeling? It's up to you.
All right. You want to go? Wow, really? Jump it that high?
I really do. I think it's a better. Well, I mean, Manchurian is great. Well, we should probably have a class. But then again, we have North by Northwest and we have 3 Days of the Condor.
And you want Kingsman at 10?
I kind of do.
Okay. That's fine.
It keeps us current with the kids.
I just think with the classic of Manchurian.
Yeah? You want to put that at 9 then?
I'd prefer to put that at
Fine.
9.
That's fine. Fine. I've given in 3 times now. I want that for the record.
Yeah, whoever's taking the minutes,
Yeah.
let us know. We'll read those back at the start of the next show
Next list.
to make sure we're on the same page.
Next list is fucking. Oh shit! Do we have to send you? Do I have to send you my top 10 list? Like we're not doing that anymore, right? Where I send you my top 10 and your top 10.
To do what with?
Like remember before I used to send you my top 10 list, and then you would have your top 10, and we would like post it somewhere for people to know what our movies were.
Nah, because the beauty is they have an audio record.
Good.
So they can just go through and listen and write it down themselves. Awesome. I'm sorry,
because I just re-edited the whole thing, so fuck it. I'm not gonna. I don't remember what I put where.
Yeah, I don't care.
Awesome, perfect.
I don't care.
All right, good.
Look, maybe eventually we'll get to that, but right now, why don't we just keep the training wheels on this?
I like this.
And just enjoy the ride while we got it.
We got no training wheels in this motherfucker.
No, but at the same time, it's just like why we just started back.
Yeah.
We have a tremendous amount of work on our hands just to get this thing back up and running on some level.
True.
So let's ease into the extra work.
All right, fine. I like that idea.
Plus,
but there's no training wheels. There's some big old thick old tire rims on.
Yeah, but
we got some puffy rims on.
I don't remember having done that before Collider.
Oh, good call. Maybe it was just for Collider.
Yeah,
You're
so
right.
they can make graphics for it and all that
That's a good
stuff.
point. Well, fuck it. All right.
Yeah, so I don't know why we'd have to do it.
I'm of two minds, man.
Yeah, if somebody wants to transcribe it and say, "Oh, these were their lists,"
oh,
and
brother,
like post it on our Facebook page, go crazy.
I've already had people DM me about that on Twitter. Like, do you need me to start monitoring your lists again? Blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, sure, if you want.
Tell them to message us on Facebook so that way we both read it.
Yes.
And kind of vet these together.
Sure, that makes sense. I didn't say yes or no.
No, I know. Even if you had, I wouldn't care.
It was Ben Jones. Dick Jones. No, Ben Jones at 9522. He said, What do you think of having someone aggregate the fans list to compare to you and Matt's? Oh, the fans
list. Because we used to have, if you remember Adelaide Lake, he used to compile ours and give it to us in Excel spreadsheet like every couple months. He was nice enough. I'm not asking that he needs to do that again because that was a labor of love.
Yeah.
And I promised to post it on our Facebook page numerous times, and I never did just because I was kind of waiting for the right moment. And then it never really, the right moment never seemed to come up.
Well, look, you can aggregate if you want to aggregate. I don't think we should. Just if you want to do it, listen to the show. It's your choice.
We may need help in other ways.
Right.
Down the road.
Right.
But as of right now, if you guys want to do that or somebody wants to do it and post it on the page below whenever we post the link, go crazy. And if you continue to do that, we'll give you admin privileges on the Facebook page.
There you
just
go.
Log in and do it yourself. Be like, here are their lists.
Yeah. Fan interaction, son.
Yeah, it's fine. The more you guys want to do with us, the more we're going to do back.
Yeah.
If you guys want to be passive, then we will be passive as well.
All right. Well, let's.
Yeah, we're only going to create so much work for ourselves.
Exactly.
We did too much last time, and we burned ourselves out.
We really did.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do the list.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
You got the falsetto ready?
I do. Matt, you're getting prepared. Matt is preparing for the drumming, stretching out, is cracking his knuckles. There we go.
You ready?
All right, yes. The top 10 spy films.
At number 10.
Kingsman, The Secret Service.
Coming in at number 9.
The Manchurian Candidate.
At number 8.
3 Days of the Condor.
In the 7th spot.
Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol.
Rounding out our bottom 5 at number 6.
Look out for that crop duster. North by Northwest.
At number 5.
The Hunt for the Red October. Is it The Hunt for Red October?
Yep.
That's it. The Hunt for Red October. Okay.
Hunt for Red October.
Yes.
In the Quattro spot.
Syriana.
Coming in the 3 hole.
The Bourne Identity.
At our penultimate spot at number 2 is
Skyfall.
And finally, our number 1 spy film,
Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
There it is.
Spy was in the title. It kind of had to be number 1.
Perfect.
We had no choice.
And I don't think I've said the word spycraft so many times. In a, how long is this?
Hour and a half?
Hour and a half. I said it so many times that I was like, I'm rendering that meaningless in my own head.
Start being on multiple shows. You catch the same words you say over and over again. You're like, Jesus. I say
me.
fantastic too many times.
On stage, you're like,
No.
I can't use that as a punchline twice in a half hour. Just like you get into certain phrasings, and even if they're different words, it's like you're still delivering that in kind of the same way.
Right.
Like, shit, I'm lazy. I can't be lazy. Yeah, but the words, when you're just speaking for hours on end, it is impossible to not repeat yourself in phrases. And trust me, when we started doing Collider, I noticed that I was saying I tip my cap to.
Yeah.
And just like in honor of, and I was like, that got stuck in my head. And now a bulk of tens of thousands of people have only seen me over this short 3-month period, and they think that I just say that shit all the time. At least that's how I view it in my head.
Yeah, right.
Because I said it like once every other show.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. I was saying it for a couple months, and it just you happened to catch it.
It just sticks.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Well, there you go. There's our list. Top 10 spy films. Thanks, everybody, for listening to the Top 10 show this week. We really appreciate your patronage. Really appreciate all the comments, like we've said. All the stuff you're doing to promote the show on your social media, with your friends, with your family, all that stuff. Keep, letting Schmoes know, letting Christian and Mark and all them over there at Schmoes know about how much you enjoy the show.
Yeah, please comment wherever you like. It's always nice to get the tweets and the Facebook posts and things and comments and whatnot that we get tagged in, whether it's on the Top 10's page or Schmoville. It's always nice to see.
Yes.
And we appreciate it. Thank you so much. Once again, after last week, we would not be here without the support of all of you clamoring with your pitchforks and your torches at the gates of whatever media, just wanting us back in podcast form. Those of you that wanted a visual, well, get used to the audio.
You had your shot.
Yeah, you had your shot. You had your shot. That ship has sailed.
That's right.
Who knows? Never say never. It may come back on another station.
Sure.
Or something, not another channel, so to speak. But as of right now, we are happy to be back.
Absolutely.
Doing the podcast, doing the audio.
Yeah.
Shooting the shit.
Yeah. On the SK Plus podcast channel. So many great shows on here. Don't Be a Beardo. The Wangers Show. Yeah. Schmodown Rundown, After Schmoes, all the shows that are Outlaw Nation, obviously the show I do every Thursday. And so it's great to be on this podcast and be able to, on this channel, be able to do this again and interact with all of you again. It's been nice to be able to talk about it. And we want to hear your lists. What are your lists? What are your spy films? Maybe we missed one, or maybe you guys can suggest one that we hadn't seen. I think I want to make this a little more interactive too, with the fans suggesting stuff for us to kind of take a look at. And I think that's always great for us to expand. Just because we expand your movie knowledge doesn't mean we can't have our knowledge expanded either. So
yeah, if it's something very specific, we'll probably need a heads up for a while so we can go, oh, you know what? I've only seen like 2 in that genre.
Yeah.
Why don't you give me 6 months so I can start working in, as opposed to just taking 2 weeks and rifling through 10 movies.
Yeah.
They're all going to kind of be the same after a while if it's in a certain genre.
They're going to run into themselves.
But yeah, we're always open to suggestions. We love the fan interaction. And thank you so much for listening. And if you could, my call to arms or action is tell a friend. If you know somebody that is into movie talk, likes two guys shooting the shit, likes to hear two handsome voices, because I assume our voices are handsome.
That's very nice of you to say.
Not a problem.
And also leave ratings and stuff and comments. That still matters. I think it still shows up on iTunes for that you can leave comments specifically for this show on the Schmoes Know iTunes feed. So definitely those comments and those ratings matter.
Do you want to try and take over the comment section? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, basically.
Let's just make it all top 10.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a lot of fun.
I'm just saying. Could be leverage.
I don't know if I don't know how many they have.
Yeah.
So if we somehow eclipse them, so say they have 1,000, if it ended up being 1,001, then we'd have to do something for the fans. I don't know what that would be. Figure something out.
I think we did say it. We said it before. A live show in Ghana. That's what we do for the fans. I don't know what the problem is here, Matt.
I could do a live show somewhere.
I would love to do a live show here in LA of the Top 10 show.
Yeah, I getting a venue and a time and all that, I don't think it'd be difficult. It's just whether or not we would get the requisite number of people to fill it out to make it worthwhile.
Right. That's a good call.
Yeah.
We got 100 people.
Well, it depends. There's some smaller like theaters here, like down on Santa Monica, that's like 50-seater.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah. Or like the Comedy Central stage. I think that's like a 80 to 100 or something.
Sell tickets.
I don't even care. We do it for free. If we got over 1,000, you know what I mean? If we took 1,000 comments and well,
calm down, Matt. We could charge something.
Like $5.
All right, fine.
Or so,
I wasn't saying like 30.
That way we could pay whatever staff we needed to.
That's true.
Yeah, so that way
Adam and Cody
not going out of pocket. Oh hell yeah!
Get them some.
We go to live. Trust me, we're bringing them with.
That's right.
We're doing something. We got to figure out some way to incorporate them onto the show.
I agree 1,000%.
I don't know how.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Adam has any interest in being recorded.
No. But he has an interest in recording us. That's for sure. He loved doing the show for us, and so did Cody. So
yeah, Cody, I want to have on as a guest at some point. Just figure out whatever he wants to do.
I like that.
Yeah, we could have both of them on if you want to do a tandem.
I'm down.
No idea. We're spitballing here, guys, so don't hold us to any of this.
That's right.
I've got
don't
guest
post
ideas.
Any of this. That's right.
Yeah, I got guest ideas, as does John. I don't think we should probably discuss them in an open forum, because then it just creates a frenzy of, why don't you have on so-and-so and this person and this person. Like, listen, we'll have on who we can have on if their schedules work and we think they'd be good for the show.
Yeah, absolutely. If people want to offer to help the show, brother, where do you want them to email us? On the Facebook page?
Yeah, I might as well do it on the Facebook, because we both already have the login for that. So you should be able to message the page itself.
Yeah, you should be able to send a message.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've gotten messages to the top 10 before.
Yeah.
So hit us up there, or I guess, DM both of us on Twitter.
Yeah, if
you're going to do it.
Yeah, agreed.
Otherwise, if you get DMs, forward them over and I'll do the same.
Sounds good.
I haven't gotten any yet, though.
There we go. All right, well, thanks everybody for listening to the Top 10 show this week. That was Matt Nost.
Yeah, I'm Matt Nost. Thank you so much. Follow me on Twitter at Matt Nost, MATTKNOST.
And you guys should appreciate my man's struggling here at the end here. He hasn't had a lot of sleep, so he's doing his best to finish out the show. Guys, always follow me at The Rocha Says, ROCHASAYS on Twitter and Instagram. Every Friday, Collider Movie Talk, 10 a.m. The Outlaw Nation podcast every Thursday on at this channel, the SK Plus podcast channel, and the Cinephile, Cine-Files, the one I host with Steve Morris over there on iTunes, on Stitcher, and on YouTube. Though that's all the stuff. And Game of Thrones, obviously, every Sunday or Monday when we do our recap shows this season. So there you go. That's everything's going on. Matt, are we good?
We're good. I got nothing, buddy. I got nothing. We've 2 back-to-back weeks of doing 90-minute shows. I think we're giving the people what they want.
That's right. We are.
And don't anticipate every week going this long.
I mean, seriously.
But there will be, we did have some grandiose ones where they were like $1.40 in the past. But it's like when we did mob movies or something.
Yeah.
Where it's like, this is a beefy topic, a meaty topic. Let's sit down and, actually digest this. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying at this point. I'm so tired.
Thanks, everybody, for listening.
Bye-bye.